Hi guys, it's Pete here, minor canon for young people at Salisbury Cathedral. Um, it's my joy to be able to speak to you today. Um, a word of warning about our chat this evening. What I want you all to know is that this evening's reflection is going to contain themes of suicide. So if that's a trigger or problematic theme for you, please be warned. Feel free to switch off. But that's what we're going to talk about because over the last week, we've seen some dramatic things happening in the world of social media, in particular on TikTok, the social media platform TikTok. What happened was that there was a gentleman, I believe, from the United States who committed suicide by shooting, but he did it on a live platform. And then what subsequently happened is people shared that repeatedly on social media. Now, for those of you who don't know what TikTok is, um, TikTok is a social media app, and basically it's short form videos, normally of things like dancing, funny stuff, challenges, things like that. And the way it works is that it replays, so it does an autoplay. So you don't really choose, it puts into the For You videos and then it autoplays. And so what was happening with this suicide video is people were resharing it. It was getting pumped into people's social media feeds, and it was flashing up on people's feeds with no control. And the graphic and horrific scenes on this video were almost instantaneous. That by the time you'd started watching the film and seen realised what was happening, it was too late. And worse than that, what was happening was people in a social media world were grabbing hold of this, putting inappropriate tags on it. It was getting into the hands of children, and then to add insult to what was already a disastrous situation, some trolls on the internet went and decided to put pictures of like cute bunnies and cats doing stupid stuff in front of this suicide video, which would target children. And then what would happen was they'd start watching that, and then all of a sudden it would cut immediately with no warning to a graphic image of a graphic video of suicide. And that is horrendous. Many parents were advising their children and getting their children off TikTok for a period as they sought to stem the flow. But this thing was being shared so rapidly, so readily across all the social media platforms that you just could not escape it. I don't know about you, but that is awful. It makes me wonder what on earth is going on with the world. What on earth does it say about our society that people would do something like that? That they would share someone's darkest moments, someone's most painful emotional moments, someone's moment that ended with a brutal reality of finality. What goes through people's minds to want to drive them to view, share, adapt, and keep that imagery, those themes, that huge amount of distress and darkness in the forefront of people's social media feeds? That is completely awful. I think we've lost our sense of compassion. There's a danger with social media that we become detached from the reality of the things that we are viewing. It is awful. It is the reality of the horror that someone could feel that low as to end their own life. And then people go and show it around the world as if it's some form of macabre entertainment. People go and adapt it to traumatize unexpecting individuals. I say there has to be a better way than that. I think we're losing our way. Our social moral compass is becoming weirdly distorted, and our interactions on social media are compounding that. What leads us to say that that's okay? That story in the news this week absolutely broke my heart. And I think as society and as individuals, whether we're of faith or not, but we are called to rise up to be more. We are called to rise up to take a new path, a path that honours people, reclaims our collective responsibility, reclaims a sense of community, a sense of community that is based on moral support and human connection. We have to rise up. We have to lift our voices. We have to say that this is not okay. For the sake of the future generations, for the sake of the world that we are creating, we have to, as community, as society, rise up and stand against the disastrous tide of horrific content being created on the internet. It breaks my heart to hear stories of suicide. And in my job, it's something we deal with from time to time. It breaks my heart that individuals would reach such despair, such brokenness, such hopelessness, that death seems the only way out. It breaks my heart. There's a song that goes round my head, which Chester from Linkin Park wrote in the aftermath of the death of Chris Cornell. And it sort of became a sort of anthem around this theme. And then tragically, Chester killed himself. And this piece of music, this piece of art that he wrote, took on a whole new life and new sense of being. The chorus of it goes something like this. It says, who cares if one more light goes out in a sky of 1,000,000 stars? It flickers, flickers. Who cares when someone's time runs out? If a moment is all we are, it's quicker, we're quicker. Who cares if one more light goes out? Well, I do. Look that song up, One More Light by Linkin Park. It is emotional. It speaks to the depth of this subject. But what that section, that anthem, if you like, speaks to me of is saying and rising up as a community to say that we do care. I do care that people are living in the darkness and despair of the world. Now, suicide is a hugely complex thing, and people do need to get professional help. But I think communities of faith have something powerful to say in this time. Communities of faith have hope, have light, have freedom to proclaim to those who are in the darkest situations. Jesus says, doesn't he, in John 8:12, he says, I am the light of the world. He is the light who shines light in the darkness. I have seen people's lives transformed time and time again by them encountering the powerful love of Jesus Christ. Do we, as the church, tell people of that light and that love? Do we point to people, we point people towards the person of Jesus? Do we tell people that there is hope? Church, we need to rise up. And I close with this. If you yourself are in a dark place, if you yourself are feeling in despair, if you are contemplating suicide, I would say this to you. You matter. You are important. Please, 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 from the bottom of my heart, reach out. Get help. Do not struggle through this life alone. There are people who are for you. I would say God is for you. Do not struggle alone, because who cares if one more light goes out? Well, I do. We do. And do not struggle on your own. It has been a rough week. It has been a week of difficulty. But let's keep telling of the light of Jesus Christ, who transforms the world, who transforms lives and can overcome the darkness that people live in. So, church, have a blessed week. Look out for those who might need your help. God bless. See you soon.